Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Wonderfully Made. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I have for you a demo and review and swatches using the new Sephora Pro Warm Eyeshadow Palette. I had no intentions on purchasing this palette. I went into Sephora to get some makeup wipes, and I'm telling you, I walked past this eyeshadow palette and I stopped in my tracks because the colors were so beautiful. Not to mention, I heard nothing but good things about this eyeshadow palette online, and so I could not leave the store without it. I am in a rush, so I'm going to end this intro here, but I do want to let you know that this is probably going to be like a two-part video because I am also doing a wear test using my YSL Touche Eclat Le Tint Radiance Awakening Foundation, long name, and so I am going to check in periodically to show you guys how this foundation is wearing as well as the eyeshadow. So I gotta go, but I am going to show you guys the demo on how I created this eyeshadow look. I was going for a summer sunset look, so yeah, that's that. And if you'd like to see how I created this look, then please stay tuned. But as always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and I'll see you in the next video. So I'm going to swatch these from left to right, starting with the first row. The first shadow is called Canvas, then Oat, Biscotti, Camel. This is Ochre, Saddle, and Auburn. So this is the first row. I love these colors. Now the shade Oat, it's a bit patchy and you do have to layer that one on. But overall, I love this first row. Now this is Sand, Brass, Clay, Copper, Bronze, Adore, and Sandstone. Second row, beautiful shades. You see there are 4 shimmer shades on this row, and I'm going to keep saying it. I love the shades in this palette. They are very pigmented, very smooth, and creamy. Love these eyeshadows. Here is Hazelnut, Khaki, then Peach. This is Brick, my favorite shade. Terracotta, Burnt Umber, and then Chestnut. I am in love with that brick shade. It is my favorite color in this palette. That along with Ochre, I love them. Now for the last row, we have Brown Sugar, Caramel, Sepia, Coconut Shell, Cocoa, Cedar, and Obsidian. The final shade, that black shade, is called Obsidian, and it is a black. I absolutely love it. The shades are creamy, blendable, smooth, pigmented. I love this palette. So this is the Sephora Pro Warm palette, a black palette with Sephora Pro written in like a rose gold color. Very pretty. This palette is very heavy though. I mean, it's a heavy palette. And I'm gonna try not to blind you with the mirror, but it has a gigantic mirror in it, and these are the 28 shades. Beautiful colors. I mean, I literally stopped in my tracks when I saw this palette at Sephora because I had no intentions on buying it. But of course, this gold color, Ochre, is basically what really attracted me to this palette, because that gold color is so hard to find, and based on some of the reviews that I've seen so far, the color is very pigmented, and it's very hard to find a gold or matte yellow shade that's really pigmented. And so I'm just going to get started. I'm getting ready for church, and so I need to get this show on the road. Also, from some of the reviews that I've seen, it's been suggested that you use a sticky base for this palette or glitter glue. So I am going to use my glitter glue by Too Faced. And I'm not using any type of concealer or paint pot or any sort of base shadow, cream shadow, because I want to see how pigmented these colors are on my skin tone on its own. So the first color that I think I'm going to go in with is this color called Saddle, which is right next to the soft ochre shade, and just place this in the transition area. My first impression is that yes, this so far definitely pigmented, because it's showing up on my skin tone without any type of cream shadow base, and that is not always the case for some shadows. And I have to be honest, I haven't been that impressed with Sephora eyeshadows in the past. So far with this first color, I'm liking it. The next color I'm going to go in with is called Clay. And I'm just taking that a little bit lower than where I placed that first color called Saddle. And the mirror on this eyeshadow palette is A1. Oh my goodness, the mirror is excellent. It's big enough for people like me who really need glasses. But unfortunately, I can't put makeup on with my glasses on. So, you know, it's struggle city for me most of the time when I'm trying to put makeup on and record. When I'm doing my makeup on a daily basis for work, I use my Simple Human mirror, which has excellent magnification for those of us who, are sight impaired a little bit. Lots of fallout, okay? Oh my goodness, I dipped my brush into that terracotta shade, and let's see if the camera picked up the fallout. I don't know if you can see it, but yes, oh my goodness. But I'm going to just take my MAC 213 brush with this terracotta shade, which is a beautiful burnt orange shade. And I'm trying to concentrate this color right in the socket, in this outer V area and into the socket. The next color I'm going to use is called Burnt Umber. I will try some of the other shades in this palette because this is definitely going to be my eyeshadow palette for the week. And I'm just taking this shade into the outer third of my eyes. I think I messed up a little bit by bringing it a little bit too high in the transitional area. But let's see if I can blend that away with the Saddle shade. So I'm going in again with the Burnt Umber shade. I mean, I'm barely tapping my brush into this eyeshadow, and do you see the pigmentation? Oh my goodness. So my camera cut off and I'm not quite sure where I left off, but I am going into this deep brown shade called Cedar, and I'm just tapping it right in this outer V area of my eyes, just tapping it. I don't want to completely cover the burnt umber, but I do want to bring some smokiness to the look. So I'm just tapping that cedar color right in the outer V. And I'm going to go back into burnt umber and just blend out the cedar shade. So I'm going back into terracotta, and I'm just going to put that right here. Going for like a sunset type of look. So I'm just going to place that orange shade right there. I'm having to pack the color onto this little area of my eyelids because this is where my eye folds, because I have hooded eyes, and a lot of times when I open my eyes the color will crease or fade, and so that's why I am kind of packing the color on to that area. This MAC 213 brush for the shade called Ochre. Now this ochre shade is very pigmented, but I really went in heavy with this color and I packed it on. Because I have hooded lids and I tend to have creasing, so I packed this shade on quite a bit. And I'm not adding any more color, but I'm taking the same brush that I used for that terracotta shade just to blend it with the ochre shade. So there's definitely fallout. I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, so for my lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with my pencil brush using the shade Burnt Umber, is that what it's called? Yes, Burnt Umber, which is that reddish brown shade. Do y'all see how pigmented this eyeshadow is? Oh my goodness, this is so pigmented. Then I'm going to wipe the brush off and go in with the dark brown shade called Cedar. And I'm going to blend that in the outer third. Then I'm going to go in with the orange shade called Terracotta. For my brow bone, I'm going to take the shade called Camel. This is an all matte look, but I am going to use this shade called Bronze in the inner tear duct, which is a metallic shimmery golden looking shade. And I am just going to pop this right in the inner tear duct. So now I'm just going to finish my entire look off camera and get dressed, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so I have had this makeup on for over 9 hours now, and I was in a hurry, so I didn't get a chance to kind of give you my overall thoughts about this Sephora Pro Warm palette right after I finished my makeup, you know, when things was nice and fresh and flawless and beautiful. So unfortunately, this is what we're working with for the end of this video. But yes, I love this eyeshadow palette. I am not disappointed with my purchase. This eyeshadow palette comes with 28 eyeshadows. There's a nice mix of matte shadows and satin eyeshadows. Every color in here complements the other colors in this palette. The possibilities are limitless. You can certainly create numerous neutral looks. Now this is going to be a neutral eyeshadow palette, but there are some colors in here that you can use if you want to create some drama. Okay, like you have this peach shade and this brick shade. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to use these two colors. This is the peach shade and the brick shade, especially this brick shade. Now I will say this peach shade does require some layering. Okay, I will definitely be using those two shades together to create some kind of look. Another shade that I cannot wait to use is called Brown Sugar. I am most definitely going to be creating a brown smoky eye with this shade. And it's just a beautiful brown shade, and it has hints of, I guess, gold specks or silver glitter specks, but they're very finely milled specks of glitter. And so I cannot wait to create a brown smoky eye with this shade. And yes, I mean the black shade is extremely black. And of course the eyeshadow that caught my attention was that beautiful mustard gold eyeshadow called Ochre. And this is what it looks like on my finger, and there it is swatched. And you've seen already how it applied in the demo. And this is my eyeshadow look after 9+ hours. Okay, I mean my eyeshadow look still looks good. It held up really well. I mean, you can still kind of see some of the yellow in the inner third of my eyes. Now it did break apart a little bit. You know, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it still looks really good. Now let's talk a little bit about pigmentation. The majority of these eyeshadows are very pigmented. Now there are a few shades in this palette that requires a little bit of building. Good. I mean, you can literally create an eyeshadow look in no time. No time at all, because when you put the color, when you dip your eyeshadow brush in that palette into any one of these eyeshadows, it will pick up color, and that color will apply on your eyes effortlessly. Now in terms of swatches, I just do finger swatches because at the end of the day I'm just trying to show you the color. Okay, I find that these eyeshadows apply effortlessly with the brush. I love them. Okay, I love them. I have a few eyeshadow palettes by Sephora, and let me tell you, they have really stepped up their game. As a matter of fact, I think I gave 2 of my Sephora eyeshadow palettes away, so I may only have 2 left. I don't remember, but they have really stepped up their game. I will be using this eyeshadow palette for the rest of the week for sure. Now, one negative about this eyeshadow palette is that it definitely has a lot of kick up, lots of fallout, and I'm going to try to show you this eyeshadow palette without it getting all over me. But and I'm going to put this here because I don't want to blind you guys. But if you can see that this eyeshadow palette looks like I have been having it a while, okay? But I only used it once. So you will want to make sure you do your eye look before you do your foundation, or, you know, use some powder or something underneath your eyes to catch the fallout. Now, because I used the glitter glue, I think I didn't have as much fallout as I would have or potentially could have had. But there's definitely lots of kickback in the palette itself. It has a large mirror that is a great mirror to do your makeup with. I mean, I don't think it has any type of magnification in it, but the clarity in this mirror it's of great quality. It's a really good mirror, and it's big. Let me see if it stays up. Yep, it stays up on its own, so if you want to sit it on the table and do your makeup, you can. So that makes traveling with this palette convenient. Another thing that I don't like about this palette is that the names of the eyeshadows are not written on the palette. And so if you want to keep up with the names of the eyeshadows in the palette, you're going to either have to keep the box or this little sheet. And I'm just going to keep this. I like these to protect the mirror from the shadows, because the short period of time that I closed this palette without it, the mirror already has eyeshadow on it. But anyway, that's all I have about this Sephora Pro palette. It's certainly 2 thumbs up for me. I absolutely love it. Now this eyeshadow palette is, I believe, $68. You do get 28 eyeshadows, so that's quite a bit of product. So you're paying a little over $2 per eyeshadow, which is less than ColourPop eyeshadow. If you've enjoyed this video or if you found it helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment below and ask me any questions that you might have. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, why? What are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can keep up with what I have going on this channel, and it will be greatly appreciated. And so yes, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. As always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and He loves you. And I'll see you in the next video.